And welcome back, everybody. Here we got an exciting final group matchup between John Shoring and CCU. Winner of this match moves on to the knockout phase. Our man in charge is Anton Fedoshin, the referee. It's David Burney in the booth, joined by Johnny Policeman, Gary Spence. How you doing, Gary?
Fine, thanks, Dave. Welcome, everybody. So I see CC got a little lucky on the break there and left him right in front of the green instead of behind it.
Yeah, CC might be a little bit of the favorite in this match. Just he's had some great history in this wonderful event. Never lifted the trophy, but has gone deep in the tournament.
Yeah, the pockets on this table are exceptionally tight. Pretty much to pro standard, I would think.
Well, we had the great Simon Barker from England come over and install these tables. Simon, who has been probably over the world many times. Great mechanic.
That was a pretty aggressive shot. I thought he had a bit of chance to get back into Bach with the cue ball. But now he's got the black tied up, so that may not allow a lot of scoring on this turn. So John comes over from Vancouver Island to play in these events.
Yeah, he's got a table at home. Originally comes from Scotland, Glasgow. But definitely a lover of the game and always a good sport. And for all you players that wanted to get in these tournaments, take a note from John Shoring. As soon as the emails come out, I get an e-transfer within seconds.
Looks like the back's going to be back. Black's going to be back in play here. Chance for a good break.
Yeah, CC runs Empire Billiards down in Renton, Washington. Actually, I've never been to CC's club. When I've been down there, I've only gone to Mike Dominguez's room, whether it be Bays or now Ox. But,
Well, he made that look easy with the fishing gear, but not sure what he looks pretty straight on the black. I don't know if he's got enough angle to stun up the table between the red, those two reds there. Might have to draw back. Decided to just play settle for there. Yeah. Read it right. Took the spot, so now he's got free queuing. Good judgment there. For anybody who's not familiar with the game, if the spot is taken for the color ball, it goes to the highest open spot. So the pink was the highest open spot, so the black went there.
Gary, you're going to stay on the black with 3 reds and 2 blacks?
I think he's going to stake the blue. Black is not a very good angle. He may change his mind and take the black now. Red was in the way. He was in danger of touching it with his clothing. And it's all ball fouls. So if you touch anything, any ball with something, it's a foul.
I have to say, CC is a complete player in my mind. He's got everything on the table and off the table. He likes to just come in, do his thing, shows up for his matches on time, doesn't gripe about this or that. A real treat when he's in the room and in tournaments. And
yeah, most club tables that red would have fallen in, but not into these corner pockets.
well, they seem to be going in for CC.
Yeah, he got a little unlucky. He's partially hampered by the pink, so it's harder to control the cue ball now. Got fairly solid shape on that red, although can't tell from here what angle he has, if any. He's putting top on, so he's either playing the green or powering it out of Bach. Oh, nice cut back. That was a very fine cut. Well played.
Just wonder if he's got a pathway for this red by the yellow pocket.
Yeah, he played that with some inside siding or check, which made the pot a lot harder. John sort of played that as a two-way shot. He gets a safety if he doesn't make it, unless the red that he was playing with in front of a pocket. opportunity for a pink or a black here. Just a little pacey, but he's still got a decent shot at the black. Unfortunately, natural angle, it takes him onto the pink, so he's going to have to do something with the cue ball other than just plain ball it.
Ooh. Yeah, John's got to take advantage of these chances he gets. As he knows, CC's a strong player. He's got a commanding 29-point lead already in this first frame. Michael David cheering on CC in the chat room. We are on Snooker Canada's YouTube page, so feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any comments or questions, Gary Spence is in the booth with myself, David Burney. Gary, who's been around the game for many, many years, knows a lot about it, so I dare you to stump him on a question.
Except who's won what in the past. Memory's getting a little bit short these days. Well, CC could close out the game here with those loose reds in the middle. All depends on how he gets onto the black off this next red. Probably like to be on the red he's right beside now next. Looks like it was nicely held. This will open up the other two reds above it.
Yeah, I think you could categorize that black as the Bill Werbernick shot. He took the black, popped up, didn't move at all, and then was on a red.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get a few pointers from Bill over the years. We ended up becoming pretty good friends.
Was it good points on Logger or actual Q Sports?
I didn't need any pointers on the Logger. A bit of an unexpected miss there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how.
So it's still 67 on the table, so there is time for John, but the black didn't go in a nice spot for John, and the pink certainly out of play sort of for running the ball, so he's going to have some work to do if he wants to get back in the game. A little pacey now. He's hampered by the pink. May have to go to a rest or an extension. he's almost forced to try and make a color because he's so far behind. So
Maybe a little
well, it may have been
deceleration.
online, but it was a bit light. So CC just needs a red and a color, and John will need snookers. Oh, my arithmetic's wrong. You'll be 54 up with 51 to play without the color. Back to school, I guess, eh?
Or get that morning cup of coffee.
Oh, this looks like a pretty good cue ball. Just leaked out a bit. Well, the black is wide open, so if John can make a couple of balls, he can get right back into this game. I think the right-hand red of those two is potable, so. But he still needs to get a color off it, otherwise, I guess he didn't come up far enough. He's looking up table for the other red. Oh, he's going to play oh, he's playing a different shot. He's going to chip.
Well, CC has a 55-10 lead in this first frame. Best of three. Winner of this match is going to win the group and move on to the knockout phase, and that will be starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Looks like CC may have a cut in the side on this red. I don't know from this angle, can't quite tell. Looking from the booth, I'd say he can cut that in the side. But the cue ball will be tracking towards the pocket, I think. Yeah, you could see he overcut it and he came close to the side. So if he'd have tried to pot that, he probably would have been at the pocket with the cue ball. So 45 in it and 51 on the table, potentially. Tough pots to try and roll a ball in from that distance, but he had to do that to hold for the pink or black.
Yeah, even with him missing that, those reds got to travel a lot to get onto the high-valued color balls that John needs.
Well, plus there's built-in insurance for CC now because the green was already tough and now he's put the blue up there, so that's not going to hurt him any because there's no way John's going to be running out from here. Probably going to take 2 or 3 visits now with the way the table's set up.
Little
Not sure
disruption
what
there.
shot he's going to play here. Is he going to try and... There's no advantage to try and pot one of the 2 reds on the near the rail, I don't think, because you're not going to get a high value color out of it. Just trying to draw back into Bach. Nice draw. Oh. Nice little bump at the end.
Yeah, the room's getting a little bit more busy now as it's opened up to the public. It's a little added factor that the players have to contend with.
Well, if all the noise is at the same level in the background, it's not as disturbing as when it's quiet and somebody makes a noise. So I'd rather have a bunch of background noise just bubbling away because you don't pick up anything. What a nice pot that was. Those side pockets are very tight from that angle. Sorry about any strange noises. I keep whacking the microphone with my hand. And I'm not even French and I'm talking with them. So I know from refereeing the previous match, if he rolls the black, there's a slight deviation when you get near the pocket. If you're rolling it, it's going to actually move slightly to the left when the nap should actually make it fall slightly to the right. So he elected for a good solid snooker.
For our new viewers, Gary, why would that be the case? As obviously the nap would naturally take it to the right. Why would it go to the left?
Well, this probably the slate is just tilted ever so slightly. I'm talking at pocket weight, right? There's no foul and miss on because snookers were needed. Well, he hit it anyway. So snookers were needed, so there was no foul and miss possible in any event. No, it's just there's an anomaly in the slate right there where pocket weight it'll move a millimeter or 2 to the left instead of the nap pushing it a millimeter or 2 to the right. Like I say, I saw that shot from Albert in the last match where he just dead punch rolled a pink up there and fell in the pocket. So 43 on the table, 44-point differential. CC tried to get a little more full hit and sneak behind the blue-green, I think, on that shot.
Kind of like what he's done there, though. Like, it's a tough shot for John here, and that red's really out in the middle of the table, so...
Didn't get any kind of good luck on that unfortunate collision between the reds. too much stretch, I think. I think I detected some movement on that shot.
Yeah, usually CC's as solid as a statue. Just that one back arm swinging. That's all you want.
Well, that's, he may have a piece of the red by the black. Yeah, the way he's cueing right down, he must have a piece of it. Well, that helps John's cause. He's got a choice of big scoring balls. Red and a pink, he still only needs one snooker. He would have liked to get a little higher. He may choose the black, come back down table, black on the spot. Should be able to play a snooker behind the black with the last red.
Just worried a little bit about the interfering red. Doesn't want to rub against it even with a microfiber of his shirt.
Well, he's going to have to get out the long stuff, but at least he's got a decent angle to get behind, slide over behind the black and bank the red into Bach. Well, he can lean out far enough, doesn't have to use that long stuff. Not hard enough. So he still needs one snooker. And all the balls, of course. Interesting choice by CC there. I don't know if I would have wanted to split up those two balls, because now there's no problem. If you were to get proper angle on the green, you could be running out. This is going to bring the, no. Thought it was going to bring the blue into play as well. But. So a half ball cut from here, I'd say CC was odds on favor to make this ball.
Oh, what a shot. Tremendous.
When you get that half ball range with these good players, they knock them in quite frequently. Oh. Shows you how tight those pockets are. A little bit of pace and it just rattled and sat.
So yellow
This
pretty much.
looks very good. This looks excellent.
Yellow is CC's frame ball, as if he's to get that, that will put John needing more than 3 snookers to win, and in this tournament that is a concession.
Another nice touch there. Although he should hit this on a simple one rail. Well, ball ran exactly true down the table.
He's left a long yellow. This goes in. I'm pretty sure this will be a concession.
Yeah, well, as you said earlier, that will put him 39 up with 25, so that's 14 difference. And under the expedited play rule that we're using here, that would be more than 3 snookers.
And Michael David, this is actually Gary Spence in the booth. This is David Burney talking, but I'm joined by Gary Spence. Glad you're tuned in. Yeah, if you guys have any comments or questions, or let us know where you're tuning in. We've got an active live chat here on the YouTube Snooker channel, Snooker Canada channel.
Well, the pink and black are in good position to play a snooker, so. Oh. He may have got lucky. I don't know how that ball stayed out, but that shows you how tight the pockets are. Chance for a snooker behind the brown here. I don't think he can get behind the pink and black with the cue ball. I think he looks like he might be trying that though. Shows you what I know. That from this angle I didn't think he could get there, but unfortunately he's one turn light.
Definitely thought about it, but it found the bottom of the pocket.
I need to get a headset with the mic coming out of the other side so I can't smack it with my right hand. Nice finish.
So CCU taking this first frame into best of 3, increasing his chances of moving on to the knockout round. Interesting, when the frame is over, those pockets start to become the size of buckets.
It's amazing how that works.
concludes. So CC takes the first frame. We're going to step aside for a short moment and we'll be back with frame 2. And we're back with frame 2 action of this last match in this round robin group between John Shoring and CCU. John to break off. It is the 2024 BC Open Snooker Championships live here from Top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge. We're in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. We also have our friends at the Star Snooker Club helping us out. They might be streaming a match. You can find that at their Facebook page. It's David Burney in the booth, and I'm joined by, the Paul Bunyan, I think, of the snooker world, Gary Spence. He stands about 7 feet tall.
I wish. Age has got up with me. I'm quite a bit shorter than that. I never was quite that tall. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, I'm always looking up to you.
Good to be in the booth with you, as always.
Let's see if John can rebound.
John could get a good lead here. That was an unfortunate horn or knuckle from the side pocket that CC caught as he was going back up into Bach. He's a bit short of the correct side of the blue, but he's got enough angle. He should be able to go in and out of Bach to get back down table.
Just got to avoid a bulk color.
Well, if you put plain top on, you're hitting the green. If you just stun it, you're hitting the brown. So somewhere between plain top and a stun shot will get you through the green-brown gap, or a full tip of draw will get you through the other gap. Just, too much check. Tried to go in out the same hole. Got a little too much siding and collided with the brown on the way out. I quite often like to play a little run, so I go through the gap and then spin to the long rail and come back down table. I find that easier than trying to stun back out with check. Good opportunity here. Is he going to use power top and try and come back up the table, or is he going to take a high risk, float the red in for the black? Oh, excellent shot. Probably would have liked to be about 2 inches higher. Now he's got to contend with a possible collision on that red above the black. Well, he was able to squeeze it by. Nice touch. Now is he on the red coming back the other way? Body language might say he isn't. Shoulders sagged a bit there. No, he's got a shot. Handy that the brown's right there, so he could just stop it for a automatic shape. Little bit ambitious with the cue ball there and caused him to miss. So I've not played on this Andy cloth. Have you? You had a game or two on this cloth, have you, Dave?
The first time I played was this morning.
How did you find it in terms speed-wise?
Wasn't as slick as it was down in San Jose. Those are some slick cloths down at the qualifying event I was commentating on a couple weeks ago. You know.
Yeah. So when I was refereeing, the cloth didn't seem to be super fast, although it wasn't like playing on heavy club cloth, but certainly the ball seemed to run true and take spin well. So.
And I think I was winning this morning, so there's no problem with the table.
Oh, excellent weight there. He's practically glued it to the block cushion. Although that top of the 3 in a row above the black may be a shot to nothing. Looks like John's eyeing it up in any event. If he could make it get into Bach, he could lay a good snooker behind the blue and green the way they're lined up. Now he's looking at just roll it up to something off of one or two rails, back to the shot to nothing. Oh, he played a different red altogether. Interesting. Maybe that one red doesn't go, but it certainly looks like it from the booth here.
I just wonder about that red that's just to the right of the pink. Those 3 that are kind of in a row. The top one.
Oh, and the 3 above the black. It looks like the top one of the 3 above the black goes as well.
Yeah, that little
He's
gap
got
there.
something in the middle, right through the gap. Look at that. Wow. No, you were right. He was going for the one above. Very ambitious there with all that check he put on that cue ball.
And now that red that you allude to, Gary, is open, it looks like, possibly, for John.
Yeah.
If it goes through the bunch. Is
I
there a
could-
gap through?
I could swear that third red in the line above the black goes, but
Well,
when
we
you're in
don't.
the booth, you can't lean over and look. The perspective doesn't change when you lean over, looking at a flat screen.
Well, we wish you not to swear, Gary. It is a family show.
Turning into a bit of a scrambly frame, this one.
CC was just having a look at this red on the top cushion. If it's glued to the cushion, it makes the pot just a little bit more easier, as the philosophy is hit cushion and object ball at the exact same time. But there must be a little bit of a gap because he's not really giving it any attention.
Yeah, I like them about a half ball cut if they're frozen. That way you can spin it in. When you're thicker, the siding doesn't help you. Like when you're 3/4 ball or thicker, using siding really doesn't help you run the ball along the rail. Nice pot there. And a good, is he going to get rewarded? Got cut off, eh? Brown stops the black and he can't see the pink, so. Could try and pot the yellow come down. No, he's going for the safety off. Or maybe the blue ball goes. Yes.
Huh. How's his luck?
Yeah, nice 2 rails into the pack. And no real reward.
Always tough to tell with CC at the table. Doesn't have a lot of emotion, doesn't get carried away.
Well, he also has his style. It tells you he's also played a lot of pool. So some of the shots he picks are really shots you see from pool players, and most snooker players don't play them. But he certainly, I've seen him in the past tournaments make some amazing shots that were really pool style shots. But John's got a relatively easy safety as long as he can get this red to go safe. And looks like the green may have the potting line. Well, maybe not. It looks like the way he's queuing, he's trying to pot it. Oh, just using the red as a blocker for the other reds. Smart shot. Yeah, years ago, one of friend of mine, it was one of the top players around here, a fellow named Tom Lee. He was famous for what he called the red ball hook. So you'd be so close to one red that it would cover the rest of the table.
Gotta have an active mind in this game of snooker. Gotta be a little creative sometimes.
Oh, that was close to disaster there. But he had to check it because he didn't want to run into the blue, but he almost got a little too much. Oh, Taka.
Just a bit
Needed to get
unfortunate.
on the brown, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he thinks it'll go. Although if you touch the short horn on these tables, not very forgiving. If it had new rail cloth, it might slide in, but these tables are played in, so balls don't slide much off the rail. Oh, there's a creative shot for you. Tried to go rail in off. You see a pool player think of that shot, but you don't see snooker players play them very often. He was basically playing it as a shot to nothing. He wasn't leaving anything. Looks like John was eyeing up a cutback. Now he's thought better of that.
Could get behind the yellow here.
Still not a lot of threat there with the way the pink and black are situated. You know, if they were loose and could go in multiple pockets, it's always more pressure on the player trying to play safe, because if they sell out and the scoring balls are open, you could lose right there. Not get back to the table. Nice out there. He definitely didn't try and pot that ball. He just played the cue ball into the space on the short rail so he could get back up into block. Didn't miss it by a foot and a half like some people might be thinking.
Oh.
There was a nice shot to nothing.
Michael David is asking, when I last played in a tournament. Well, that might have been before the internet. But no. Well, I do sometimes play in the local club that I play. I play in a tournament there that's gone on yearly. But a lot of the time with these more higher up tournaments, I'm too busy running and organizing and commentating. I tried it once to play in a qualifier, but it just didn't work out too well as I'm in my match and trying to give my focus to that and be respectful to my opponent. You sometimes would see players walking around the room like a lost year with a match card, so just decided to put the cue down for a little bit for the betterment of the game and keep the growth going and keep these tournaments alive and well in British Columbia.
There was a nice smooth stroke.
Smooth sailing for John Shorin.
Now he's got just enough angle. He can work the cue ball. He could play out for a red in the side, or he could just stop there and try and play the red along the rail. Just plain ball top on this, float out bit for the black.
The pockets just become that much smaller when you hit them with pace.
Yeah, hit the rail a bit too far in front of the red, so caused the, then the cue ball was coming off the rail when it hit the red and bounced the red up the table. Well, that was a somewhat fortunate double out because CC was playing the cue ball back down table. So at the pace he played that, he was anticipating getting all the way back down. So.
Definitely keep the stream on after the conclusion of this match, ladies and gentlemen, because the way things are shaping up in some of the groups, it looks like we could have a blue ball off the spot, sudden death, to see who wins the group.
Oh, another nice pot. Not a lot of pocket from that angle. Is he going to come into those three reds, or is he going to try and avoid them when he pots the pink here?
No cannon. And that pink's just...
I think I would have been tempted to try and stun into those three reds because you were guaranteed a red. And open up the table to a winning inning there.
Almost a nice recovery shot there by CC.
Yeah, a lot of tables that would have fallen in.
Probably at the table at the Gary Spence Manor.
What was that?
Probably the table at the Gary Spence Manor.
Yeah,
Do you have a table at home, Gary?
No, I've never had one. I've had plans. Several houses we had plans to incorporate a snooker table and a pool table, but they just never came to fruition. So now I'm just relegated to play it on 10-footers, old guy tables. Another nice stroke there. Wasn't overly fortunate on the position, but he has two different shots he can play, or there's a safety on the off the yellow behind the green. He's going for the black. He can back cut it, bank it, or well, in the side is a bit of a wing and a prayer from that angle.
That's close, but it doesn't look like referee Fetishin has awarded a touching ball, so at least he might have an angle just to get this red into the left middle. Just opting for the safe. He's got a 23-15 lead in the second frame. He's able to take this frame, he'll take the match, the group, punch his card into the knockout round. But can John fight back in this frame, force us as a decider? Time will tell.
Yeah, at this point, with those 5 open reds in the middle of the table, it's anybody's game. CC try and cut this in the side pocket across the table. He's tried that shot a few times already. in this game. So, no, he's looking at chipping. He's got a great line. This.
Michael David, I'd have to say probably he's asking about the Andes Ultra Cloth compared to the number 10 and Superfine by Strawn. Number 10 and Superfine I think might just be a little bit quicker. What is quick is the Hainsworth match. I'm not sure what they were doing down in San Jose a couple weeks ago when I was commentating on that Q Tour event, but those tables were extremely quick. They were like skating rinks.
Yeah, from what I've seen, like I haven't played on it, but it seems similar to 6811 gold 28 or 30 ounce or 28, whichever is the lighter of the class. It's maybe slightly faster, similar to that kind of speed.
Jeez, all this talk about Andy Ultra Cloth. You think they could give us some sponsor bucks or something like that?
Well, certainly they're getting some free ads all over the edge of the table, so.
Yeah, maybe for next year, maybe should approach these guys that if we just zoom out a little bit on our camera, put our scoreboard just below the rail of the cushion, you'll be able to see the Rasson name of this table and the Andy Ultra Cloth, and there's a lot of advertising right there.
Well, there seems to be a green blob there. That's probably by intention. Oh, that might have been the match if he made that. Well, a couple of starters here for John now. He's got either side pocket. Use the other red, cut the right hand one in, and use the other red as a stopper to stay for the blue. He's cueing low, so it looks like he's playing the cannon. A bit of a deceleration on his stroke there. He didn't get through it very well. He didn't get virtually any bottom on that cue ball. Make the pink. There's at least two reds that are easily available. I'm not sure about the other two near the pink spot. $21 up. You can see the finish line now.
Just don't get ahead of yourself, CC. There's a lot of work still to be done.
Well, that was excellent pace there. Just hand placement, perfect angle on the blue.
It's a Spence shot. Perfection.
Yeah, I like the way he just bit of stun run and creeped ahead about 3 inches on that shot. Oh, overpowered it. He could have floated it and played the pink in on the green side pocket, but he tried to get above the blue.
Yeah, I wonder if our friend on the commentary team, David Putty, is tuning in. He might be thinking he's watching Jason Williams play, as John is a lot like Jason Williams, gets down on the shot, gets ready to go, and then pops up and reasserts himself and does it a few times. But Jason, actually the Canadian national champion, won it last year over Floyd Ziegler. So he'll be defending his title in the Belle Province of Quebec coming in, I think, mid to late May. That tournament will kick off.
That was an ambitious attempt there by John.
Are you seeing a rise in snooker, Gary, over the past few years? Do you see it regrowing in Canada?
I think that there is a regrowth in the game. A lot of younger players are finding some enjoyment in playing. You see that I think just the promoting any of the cue sports helps all the cue sports. So the advent of the World 9-Ball Tour by Matchroom, that's picked an interest in cue sports overall. Plus, of course, the fantastic prize money that Matchroom sets up really helps pique the interest as well. And then you look at the World Snooker Tour. I mean, the prize money is, I think, over 30 this year. So that really helps, because it's a tough game. As a you got to be working 8 hours a day in practice if you think you're going to be making a living from the game. And people need to be able to afford to make enough money to afford to live, because practice time plus travel, etc. It's very tough to play on any of the pro tours. And certainly pool and snooker are lesser paid than even bowling pays better than than any cue sport. Bowling's very popular in the States, and there's some serious coin to be made on the Pro Bowler Tour. So if we could get the sponsorships, I think you'd see a lot more players come into the game in terms of try to chase a living out of it, because it is it's so much testing yourself every day. It's because when you have when you're on the table, you're in total control of the circumstances. Whereas a lot of other sports, like any of the racket sports, you're in control for that shot, but then you get one right back. Versus cue sports, when you control the table, you control the table, and you can keep control, shut the other person out. So it's a bit different mindset.
True, and on the contrary, when you miss a shot, you're relegated to your seat and just watch your opponent potentially rack up a frame-winning break or put a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, that's when you need the super short memory. What bad shot the next time you get up, if you do get up. If you're still fretting about the bad shot you made last time, you're probably going to be doomed to make another one. So you got to have the world's shortest memory when you get back to the table, especially if it was a bad shot and you, instead of beating yourself up. It's easier to say that than it is to actually do it when you're at the table, mind you. But
and one thing, playing a friendly with a friend or being actually in a provincial tournament is two different beasts.
well, it's fun if you're just a hobbyist. plunk down a few bucks and go play in a tournament with a bunch of killers. You have no expectations of winning, but you could test your game against top players. Whereas if you're a good hobbyist tennis player, you're never going to get to play a world-class player. It just doesn't happen, right? But in Q sports, especially in pool, you have the opportunity to lay down a few $100 and jump in some big tournament, and maybe you'll draw a pro. Get to test your game.
Well, definitely in a game like tennis, if you want it to be good, if you're 27, you're pretty much over the hill. Where we've got you'll see Ronnie O'Sullivan's pushing 50, and he's still potting them off the lampshades.
Yeah, 48. Well, he plays a more patient, more rounded game than he used to. He used to be impatient, which was his biggest weakness. And now his safety game is close to Higgins and Selby, I think. If not as good, he's certainly right in there. And he has the patience to just, if it takes 10 innings to get a shot, then it'll take 10 innings. Whereas when he was younger, he would get impatient and take a bit of a high-risk shot,
And the one thing as well, his dad was a big fan of Q Sports, Ronnie O'Sullivan Sr. They had a snooker table in their house, and his dad would invite actually men to come over to play his son.
Yes.
So that really sharpens Ronnie's skills.
Well, certainly the game's changed a lot in terms of the firepower. Better conditions for running the balls, better lights, faster cloth and rails. And the players are just more aggressive in terms of the offense.
So the tables that you started on probably had cloth as thick as the fescue at St. Andrews?
Well, if you could draw the ball half the length of the table, people thought you were good at drawing the ball. But now with even the conditions at the local club I play at, it's a seniors club, but it's 68-11 gold, and I can, if I'm 4 or 5 feet from the ball, I can draw all the length of the table. And mind you, that's on a 10-footer, but I mean, I'm no world beater. The best I ever was almost a player a couple of times. But so I mean, those kind of conditions. But when I was younger and could pot better and had a better stroke, I couldn't draw the ball like I do now because the cloth was just, unless it was wore out, it was just like so slow. Now, I don't know what kind of cloth the pros were playing on back then because we never had the opportunity of playing anything. Yeah. But it looked pretty slow, too, when you look at old videos. The table looks pretty slow.
Well, just the technology advances in chalk as well. The tome chalk that a lot of players are using, not leaving a lot of marks on the cue ball or the table.
Yeah, fewer kicks for sure.
The cues have the acceptance for various extensions, whereas before, and there were a lot of more one pieces. I think Cliff made the Brits almost fall over when he brought a 2-piece cue over.
Yeah, that's what I play with, but I mean, and I like it. I mean, I had the cue made to my specifications, and we all played with 2-piece cues, so I had one made. It was 2-piece cue. I mean, Cliff and Bill and they certainly all started out with two-piece cues, and I think Kirk Stevens as well.
Well, there's handshakes there, so that's
Yeah,
going to
that
conclude
was
that
it,
match.
that little run by CC at the end there. He pumped in about 4 or 5 balls. Killers.
Well, CCU will be moving on. John Shoring unfortunately going home, so we'll see if CCU can be a bride and lift that trophy, but that's all going to go down tomorrow. He's got a knockout round match that he's got to deal with later tonight at 4 p.m. And keep the stream going because we might have some exciting blue ball off the spots. So, Gary Spence, thank you so much for being in the booth.
Oh, thanks, David. Thank you, audience. Hope you enjoyed my monotone, but I didn't see any bricks being thrown on the comments, so.
You did a wonderful job. You're doing a wonderful job refereeing, so we'll let you get a bite to eat because I know you're going to be refereeing the TV table at 4 p.m. So take a little break, and we'll step aside for a few short moments, and hopefully maybe around 2 we might have some blue ball shootouts. Stay tuned, everybody.
Bye-bye.